What's up, y'all? GoofyRhexxi here, and hope everybody is doing well. And I wanted to do an updated video today and talk about some of the best characters that you can use in the earlier part to the mid-game part of Marvel Strike Force here. I know I did a list probably maybe 4 or 5 months ago. Some things have changed, some new characters have been introduced to the game, so I do want to talk about that and make a little bit of an updated list here. Now, I am approaching this list from a perspective of a free-to-play player. So these are characters that you can get pretty earlier, or you can target them, or you can get them early enough in the game. So we're going to be talking about characters like that. I am also going to talk about where you can use these characters as well, so that you can know where you can get the most benefit out of them once you do unlock these characters, where you can start leveling them up and plug and playing them as well. But let's not tarry any longer. Let's get right into the list here. The first group of characters I want to talk about are going to be the Infinity Watch sisters. Now, primarily, I'm talking about Gamora, Phyla-Vell, and then also Nebula. Now, I will say this: Phyla-Vell to me is has a little bit of an asterisk, and the reason why is because right now she is an arena store character, and it is 900 arena credits in order for you to target farm her. So maybe not a character that you're going to target farm on day one here, although I do think that she's a phenomenal character and will really serve you quite well. I just know that that's a lot of arena credits, but if you are able to get some character shards for her, she's a 45 shard 2-star unlock. I know that you'll definitely get a lot of value with using her alongside Nebula and then also Gamora. Gamora is in the Blitz store, fairly easy to get there. Nebula does have a campaign node, which is Nexus 4-6, but she is also a 1-star unlock, and you can kind of get lucky with some shards there as well. But really where I think that you're going to find that this team is going to shine, it's a few different areas, but I think arena is definitely one of the areas that I think stands out to me, right? These 3 characters alongside some other characters that I'll mention here in this video, I definitely think will help you out in your arena shard. Gamora is very powerful, Nebula with the assist, and if you can get Phyla-Vell, she'll definitely help out with those death proof, the drain, clearing some negative effects. So I definitely think that that's probably where you're going to get a lot of the value from them. Also in the Cosmic campaign, if you're looking for some Cosmic characters, Gamora and Nebula also do have that Cosmic tag that can help you out quite a bit. Nebula is a villain, so you can also use her there, and her assist can still help out in the villains campaign as well. So for me, 3 characters that definitely are worth mentioning: Phyla-Vell, Nebula, and Gamora definitely show up on this list for me. Now, the next characters that I want to talk about here are going to be 2 web warriors that just got reworked here. That's going to be OG Spider-Man, or Spider-Man as it's saying in the game, and then also my man Miles. I love Miles. I love his kit. I've loved this kit for quite some time. I love it. I love this special ability, this reduction of speed bar, applying that slow. Ooh, I've always loved it. I like the disrupt too. He can apply defense down, but now with the rework, he can clear those positive effects as long as he has another web warrior ally, or well, he can do it even outside of having Squirrel Girl or another web warrior ally, because if they do have defense down, he can also clear those 3 positive effects. But if you're using them with Spider-Man, right, who's another web warrior character, you always get that chance to clear those 3 positive effects with that basic ability. But do like these 2 characters here. Number 1 for me, I look at it from a perspective of a lot of these characters I'm going to mention on this list are characters that you can use that are viable end game right now, right? A lot of these characters are characters that are end game viable at the current moment that you can get in the early onslaught of the game. Spider-Man is a character that you're going to get on day 1. Miles is a character that's in the Blitz store. You can open up some Blitz orbs, which I definitely would recommend, by the way. I think your approach to the Blitz store should probably be to open up Blitz orbs. You can probably target farm maybe a few characters, Gamora being one of them, but I think primarily opening up the Blitz orbs there's a lot of good characters that are there that you can land some shards for, so that would be my recommendation. But Miles does also have a campaign node in Heroes 3-3 if you do want to target that. But where I think Miles and Spider-Man are going to help you out for sure is, they're like I said, it's a great kit for Miles. They do both have the Hero City tag, and there's a lot of areas in the game where you can definitely benefit from them having that Hero City tag. There are some Gold Rush challenges or some of your weekly challenges where these 2 characters are going to be able to help you later on. They are also primarily for raids, right? So they do have a lot of raid stuff in their kit that will definitely help you in those areas. And it can also help you out with the Flash event with Block Party, but overall Heroes campaign as well too. You're gonna get Spider-Man pretty early, so worth investing into them. Not great. They don't, their stats, although they got the reworks recently, their stats aren't, those rework stats don't really kick in until you get to level 71 and up, but still knowing that these characters are end-game viable right now, and you can still find uses for them in the early part of the game, definitely make them, for me, recommended characters that you should definitely use, in my opinion here. All right, next characters on this list are also some Hero City characters as well, and that would be Heroes for Hire right here. So primarily for me, the star of this, this team right now is, all right, so let's backtrack, right? Yes, this is primarily a war defense team, and I understand that ideally war defense characters a lot of the times do kind of get that stigma of not being great, but some of these characters are still usable outside of war defense and do pretty well outside of war defense. One mainly being Shang-Chi, who's just such a dynamic character, dynamic powerhouse character, also has that Hero City tag as well, but maybe that ultimate, that speed bar reduction, he's largely a plug and play character. You can plug him into a lot of different areas in the game, so there's really, I mean, if you even want to slot him into your arena for maybe a matchup or two, you can do that. This entire team, the Heroes for Hire team, can be used in the Gamma Raids. As a matter of fact, you kind of want to use them in Gamma Raids in that middle section, so you can find some value for them there. Misty has the ability block. She has that stun. Both of these characters are also in the Blitz store, Misty Knight and Shang-Chi, so you can get them from the Blitz store. Shang-Chi is a Blitz Orb exclusive, meaning that you can only get shards for Shang-Chi by opening up those Blitz Orbs. Well, you can get it from other orbs too, but mainly he's a Blitz Orb exclusive character. So you can land some shards from them. Misty Knight is also in the Blitz store as well, so you can open up some Blitz Orbs, and you're most likely going to be able to land some shards for Misty Knight as well. Colleen Wing is a little bit more challenging to get because she is an Arena Orb exclusive character. I wouldn't recommend opening up Arena Orbs. The cost and the return on investment there for opening up Arena Orbs, I don't really think is there for someone that's in the earlier part of the game. Maybe if you're later on, maybe you can find some value there. I don't open up Arena Orbs, and I'm close to 900 days in the game, and I don't even do that. So I don't necessarily find value there for me, and I don't feel that there's really going to be much value there for you. I think better off target farming characters. So Colleen Wing might not be a character that you can get as early. You can get these two characters much easier. Iron Fist, not a great character in my opinion, but he does heal Hero City characters, so you can find some usage there for Iron Fist. But yeah, for me, Shang-Chi, standout character. Misty Knight does have a kit that you can use outside of war as well. Colleen Wing, if you get her, will definitely help out. Luke Cage, it's okay. You also do get him pretty early too, so you can use him as an early tank. And Iron Fist, if you do get him, you also have a early sort of Hero City healer that you can use also as well. So again, those Hero City tags, pay attention to those because there's a few things, Go Rush challenges, Block Party, things like that, where you can use some of these characters as well. All right, next character, individual character on my list is going to be one of my favorite characters in the game right now. That's Zemo, right? Man, looking cool and swagged out with this nice little costume getup right here. But Zemo, great character. A great character, I think, for the early game, and still right now in the end game, we're using him with Eternals in Arena. So I mean, still definitely viable character, right? I mean, there's hey, it's a good character there. I think that he should be probably your first target in that raid store. Yeah, I think he should be a first target in that raid store. And there's a lot of really good characters in that raid store that we are going to talk about here on this list as we move forward. But Zemo definitely, I think, should be your first target in the raid store just because of his plug and play viability, what he can do. I mean, turn one is hard to ignore, right? Turn one, blowing up and clearing positive effects off the enemy team. And then with the ultimate, you're getting that ability block, you're getting the slows, you're getting the rebound chain, you're applying those slows as well. So, I mean, for me personally, I just think that he just has such a dynamic turn one and turn two kit, because once he does the ability block, once he does his ultimate on that turn one, he gets the charges back and he can clear positive effects off the enemy team again with that second turn too. So I definitely think he's a recommended character to go after. There's definitely going to be a place that you can slot him into your arena shard. You can also definitely use him for your villains campaign as well, right? I think where you're going to find him to be a key contributor is going to be once you get to your Villains Chapter 7 campaign, right? Once you get to Villains Chapter 7, you need specific character tags in order to you be able to get through the first 3 nodes of that campaign story, or that campaign chapter, I should say. And Zemo does provide you with that value as well. He's also a controller. There are also some weekly challenges where, because he does have that controller tag, he has a global tag, you can also use it for some of your challenges. A lot of these characters that I'm mentioning can also be used for some of your weekly challenges, which you can find right here. Some of your weekly challenges, you'll be able to see that they're global characters that have global tags, skill tag, controller tags, global tags are going to be characters that you can use. Some of these characters are going to be characters that you can use in these particular areas. So yeah, Zemo's very good. He's also not bad for like a raid node or 2, right? I mean, he doesn't have, in my opinion, the longevity, the health pool to really do raid nodes consistently, but you can probably slot him into 1 or 2 raid nodes where he can do that turn 1 ability block, which is going to be really helpful for you as well. But Zemo, once you get to Villains Chapter 7, which you unlock at level 70, he can definitely help you out in those areas. But there's a lot of different areas where Zemo can be helpful as well. All right, next characters on this list are going to be 2. To me, this is going to be kind of controversial, and but you'll understand why I'm mentioning these 2 characters. It's going to be Shatterstar and Longshot specifically. Now, these characters for me are more characters that you want to think about once you're planning to get to level 70. Like once you get to like level 60, you're kind of done with like villains, heroes, mystic, cosmic. Like you're kind of done with those campaignos at that point in time. If you're not, that's okay too, by the way, just so you know. But once you get to like level 63, it's kind of like a slow grind before you get to level 70. But one of the things that you want to pay attention to is your Doom campaign. Like, how can you get through Doom Chapter 1? And these are 2 characters that are definitely really essential to getting through your Doom Chapter 1 campaign. The first 3 nodes, you need hero mutant characters or hero inhuman characters to be able to get through it. And I find that Longshot and Shatterstar are some of the 2 best characters that you can use to get through that area of the Doom campaign. So yes, it's a little early to probably start planning and thinking about it before you get to level 70, but I like to plan ahead, and that's the reason why I mentioned Shatterstar and Longshot. Also, they're a pretty dynamic duo as well, so you're going to find a lot of value with these 2 characters. Also, you need both of them to be able to unlock a mythic legendary in Adam Warlock, so you're not going in a bad direction by investing into these characters by any means. Now, the reason why this team for me, I said, was controversial, Polaris and Multiple Man are Multiple Man's in the Doom campaign, so it's not really early game accessible, viable. Polaris is in the Cosmic campaign, so you can start target farming her as part of like maybe your legendary unlock plan, but it's hard to target farm really Shatterstar and Longshot. Shatterstar is in the arena store, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he is I'm checking right now as we speak. Yeah, he's a 975 credit character, same as Philavel, right? I just don't want to recommend you spending 975 credits in the early portion of the game. I think that's really stretching your resources quite a bit there. But then again, you might say to yourself, well, what other characters am I going to farm in the arena store that are really worth my time farming, right? So you're probably right about that. Maybe it is Philavel, maybe it is Shatterstar for you. You could probably make that decision. But Longshot is in the war store. And for me, I just find that that's also really challenging too, to try to farm Longshot in the war store. But regardless, right, you are going to have to farm these characters if you want to get Adam Warlock. And you're definitely going to want to use these 2 characters in that Doom campaign. So in my opinion, yeah, it's why not, right? Like if you find that that's probably the best direction for you to go in, just based on your planning, then that's probably also okay too. Also, this entire Team X Factor with Zemo are one of the better war offense teams right now in the game. So if you care about war offense later on, which I don't think that you should really focus or care about until maybe you get past like Dark Dimension 2 and maybe Dark Dimension 3, naturally, as you progress to like certain Doom raid nodes anyways, you're going to sort of kind of work on raid teams that are going to be able to be used in war anyways later on. So I wouldn't primarily focus on war teams per se, but they are viable in war, and you're going to have to bring them up to G14 to get a 7-star Adam Warlock. So maybe that's okay to think about that. But I digress. We're talking about too many things. We're going off on tangents now. Let's talk about the next characters on this list here. For me, the next characters that are going to be on this list are the new warrior, one particular new warrior character, and we'll talk about the other one as well. I promise you this. I'll do a better system next time. So new warriors here. Primarily I wanted to talk about Cloak mainly because Cloak right now is the only character that is accessible or farmable. He's in the raid store. So remember I talked about the raid store. I think you should definitely target Zemo first. I think he's going to provide you with the best early game viability or earlier game viability. Then I think that your next sort of option, or what you should do next, is open up raid orbs because it's cheaper to open up raid orbs and it gives you an opportunity to land some shards for some other characters that are going to be usable and viable on your roster, like Cloak that you can grab from that store there. Cloak is really good. I think probably one of the better tandems in the game, if not the best tandem in the game right now, is Cloak and Dagger. Deathpool to me not going to be on this list. She's more of an honorable mention character because she is a premium orb exclusive character, so therefore not putting her on this list. But Cloak and Dagger as a tandem in the game are amazing. Cloak right now though is the only farmable character, or at least the only target farmable character that you can get right now with Cloak. But that's to say, open up your raid orbs. Once you land some shards for Cloak here, you can start doing some investing into him. Really good character. Also does have that Hero City tag, which I like to talk about as well. But it does have the controller tag, so you can be using some of the weekly challenges that you have. But really, Cloak and Dagger are really strong in the raid in raids. They're going to be amazing there. Now, I do want to mention this about Cloak. Because right now in the calendar, we are getting, because of Tadano Mac completing Dark Dimension 5, we are getting some Luminous credits, and these Luminous credits will equal enough to be able to get 100 shards of Cloak or Dagger, or if you want to split it and get 50 shards of each character, Cloak and Dagger, you can do that as well. My recommendation, because Cloak is a farmable character, or you can get shards from the raid store, I probably would go with Dagger, just because, I mean, you can farm and get shards for Cloak and Dagger. Cloak, sorry. You can farm and get shards for Cloak, but you cannot get Dagger really unless like just from a lucky drop in an orb. So I'll probably go use your Luminous orbs on Dagger, and then target farm Cloak in the raid store. But yeah, one of the better tandems in the game. Super end game viable right now, so definitely would recommend investing into that team. Next team is also so this one for me, it's Secret Avengers. It's not, I'm gonna exclude Cap Sam out of this one. If you get Cap Sam, that's amazing, but he's in Doom Chapter 2-6, and that's going to take you some time for you to be able to get to that node. So I'm not going to really talk about Captain Sam here as really kind of one of your early game options or earlier game options. Mostly going to talk about Maria Hill and Sharon Carter. Now, Sharon Carter is in that raid store again, opening up your raid orbs. Will potentially land you some shards here for Sharon Carter. She's also a 2-star unlock. So you'll be able to, she's easier to be able to get as well. Now, and then Maria Hill, this one is challenging because she's also in the war store, like Longshot is in the war store. But these characters, all three of them do unlock a mythic legendary character, right, in Omega Red. So you're going to need to farm these character shards anyway. So not probably bad direction to start going into these characters. There's a few characters that are really important in that war store. There's Ghost, there's Maria Hill, there's Longshot. Those are three characters that are really important for you to farm. Ghost, you need Jubilee, and you need Jubilee in order to be able to unlock Adam Warlock. So Ghost is pretty important in that store as well. But yeah, I mean, these two characters for me are, I find that they're not as good without Captain Sam. So for me, the earlier game viability maybe falls off a little bit because they really kind of do excel, when you do have Captain Sam there. Maria Hill is a little bit better. I will say Maria Hill is a little bit better. Her heals are good. She's also a Doom campaign viable option character as well. For your Doom Chapter 1 campaign towards the very end, you can use Avenger characters or Shield characters, and she does have that Shield tag that would be really helpful there, along with a few other characters that are in the game too. So I definitely think that she probably holds a little bit more value, a little bit more weight there. Sharon Carter, great kit, but her kit is better in raids, number one, and it's also better once you do have Captain Sam available and around, just to be able to help to kind of keep her alive a little bit. I like to, but Maria Hill can also help with that. But once again, one of those situations where you get these characters, you invest because they are end game viable, they are great in raids. Once you do have all three of them together. So for me, it's one of those things where it's like you're investing for later on, as opposed to just investing for the right immediate moment. You're investing for later on as you kind of move forward. But those are kind of the for me the best options. Now there are some other options that I could recommend too as well, that are necessarily non-top tier options, and I'm going to talk about some spend options too in a little bit. But the non-top tier options that you have available to you are Shadowland. I don't like them past like a certain level in gear. This is one of those teams where if you've already invested into them at a high level to be able to do like war offense stuff, Shadowland is great. But for the sake of, hey, I don't have Cloak and Dagger, I don't have XYZ characters to do some Hero City content, then Shadowland can be sort of like a team that can bridge the gap a little bit for you. Number one, you get Electra pretty earlier on. She's a villain character. You can use her in the villains campaign. Moon Knight, Night Nurse, White Tiger are characters that you can farm. White Tiger's in the Blitz store. Night Nurse is in a villains campaign node. Moon Knight is in an early cosmic campaign node as well. These characters are dynamic. These two characters are also hero mystic characters as well, White Tiger and Moon Knight. So you can actually use them, I believe, in the Doom 1 campaign, or is it Doom Chapter 2 campaign? There's a section there where you need hero mystic characters. Silver Surfer's a hero mystic character, but also Moon Knight, White Tiger is a hero mystic character. By the way, also so is Cloak and Dagger too. They're also hero mystic characters as well. So you're going to need some hero mystic options. If you don't have Cloak and Dagger available to you, if you don't have some of these other options, then these can be kind of like your second tier options that you can use to do some stuff there as well. Hero City Tag also, so maybe doing some gold rush challenges with them or doing block party with them can also be helpful too. Along the same lines, same thought with some of the Young Avenger characters as well. So for like Squirrel Girl, Miss Marvel, we already talked about Miles. These two characters are also Hero City characters, Miss Marvel, Squirrel Girl. So Miss Marvel is in the Mystic campaign, but she's pretty easy to unlock. She's a 15 shard unlock. Squirrel Girl was moved to an earlier campaign node, or a different campaign. She used to be in the Doom campaign. Now she's in Nexus 4-3. So this team is overall a full-on war defense team, which is probably the reason why you've seen that I haven't invested much into them yet. And they're also new, Kate Bishop and Echo. But this is more of this is once again not a non-top tier option, but if you are not able to get some other character shards for some other characters, then yeah, you can probably turn to like Miss Marvel, turn to Squirrel Girl to get some stuff done for you. Wouldn't go too hard on them, but just to be able to get some stuff done for you in the interim if you need so. And then I do want to have some other honorable mentions that are probably more challenging for you to get. But if you are willing to spend, if you do get lucky, then you got to consider these options. Kestrel is amazing. Really not much to say about her. Silver Surfer, also not a terrible character. Pretty good character to invest into. Also, Emma, you can only get her through the milestone orbs, but you'll get a lot of milestone orbs. So you might actually land some shards for Emma. Emma right now is actually a part of the arena meta right now. So Emma, still a viable kit option there as well. There's also Wolverine and Sabretooth, who did get some reworks. Now they're primarily war offense characters, but could provide a really lot of value for you as well. There is Wave 1 Avengers, right? So if you're starting out, you're going to get a lot of Wave 1 Avenger characters pretty early on. They can provide some solid, viable options for you in the beginning as well. Sinister Six, not great. Like Wave 1 Avengers, Sinister Six, not great, right? But still can provide you some solid option to kind of stabilize you while you work on getting some of these other characters that we're talking about that are the better characters. Sinister Six also, I mean, you still do need to unlock Shuri and need to unlock Invisible Woman now because of some two key flash events that happen every month. So Sinister Six is kind of like a necessary evil if you look at it from that perspective. And then also I want to mention this too, like new characters, right? There's a lot of new characters that do get introduced. Those new characters are characters to pay attention to. They have tags that can be used for different reasons. Pay attention to those new characters that do get introduced, because ultimately those are usually better than the older characters that were here before. And then also, always want to say this: be prepared to pivot, guys, just in case some of these characters get outclassed or not as good anymore. Just be prepared to pivot from some of those characters as well. But I'll try to make sure that I'm a little bit more up to date with these videos. I think realistically, let me know if you guys want me to do this every month. Let me know. If you think it's probably better to do it every quarter, let me know. Or if it's every 2 months, let me know that as well, because I can continue to kind of do these updated videos, because things do change every month in reality. So or every month and a half, or every 2 months or so. So let me know if you guys want me to do that as well. But appreciate you guys watching the video. If you do like it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you know when my videos do go live. Would appreciate if you guys do that, because that definitely does help out the YouTube algorithm. Leave some comments or some questions, or if you have any questions, I should say, leave it in the comments. If you have any comments, or leave it in the comments as well. Check out the links that are down below. One to my Twitch, where I do stream Marvel Strike Force content on a weekly basis. Check out my Discord link, join my Discord, become a part of that community. Also look at my Patreon. Patreon's another way to support the channel. If you like what I do, like the content that I create, there's another way to support my channel by subscribing to my Patreon for just $2 a month. If you can afford that, I completely understand if you can't, but obviously, of course, that's another way for you to support my channel as well. But yeah, listen, appreciate you guys so very much. Until next time, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Deuces. I hope I didn't forget any characters. Maybe Axemen. Some of the Axemen characters aren't terrible. Yeah. Consider those, maybe.